early attempts of eliminating output transformers in tube amplifiers was pioneered largely by a fellow named Julius Futterman in the 1950s. And Julius was quite old at that point in time, but he was making amplifiers and selling them on a one-by-one basis up in New York. And there was quite a waiting list, waiting time if you wanted to get one of these amplifiers. But he was quite successful in selling what he was making, and there were he had a lot of followers that were really loved the transparency of an amplifier that didn't have an output transformer, and there were just people who couldn't wait to get one. So he was as I said, very old, and he did get a patent on this. And there was a fellow by the name of Harvey Rosenberg, and he licensed the Futterman, amplifier design, and he set up a company called New York Audio Labs. And he took on some partners and employees, whatever, I don't know, but certainly some partners. And they copied the Futterman circuit and put it on circuit boards and made it a little bit easier to make. And so they started producing, what was known as New York Audio Labs, version of the Futterman, which was really a copy of the Futterman circuit. So they did that for several years, and their company kind of fell on hard times and whatever. I guess the stock market crash in 1987 didn't help, and so they went under. And Harvey Rosenberg learned about my amplifier technology without the output transformer, and he got very excited about it. And he became a very strong promoter of what I was doing. And there was a lot of back and forth in the press at that time about me, calling this an output transformerless amplifier, OTL, and some other players in the industry that were making, traditional OTLs with a lot of tubes in parallel, which is like the Futterman, and in various forms. They were threatened by what I was doing, and so Harvey Rosenberg went. He was a good writer, and he was tied in with a number of magazines that were doing articles and stuff, and so he wrote some stuff, and he was defending what I was doing as being so much better or whatever, and that it didn't have all these tubes to burn out and whatever. So he was trying to figure out, how to distinguish, what I was doing with the traditional OTL, because in a sense, the traditional OTL had kind of a bad reputation for reliability, with all those, tubes being overdriven to get enough current to drive a speaker. They did blow up a lot, and and Harvey knew this from his own company, New York Audio Labs. Yeah, it was not a reliable amplifier. And he was, all the more excited that I could make an amplifier out of, with no output transformer that could use any tube, including, beautiful triodes like the 300B. And, of course, the traditional OTL couldn't be done with a tube like that because it didn't have enough current, capability. So he termed the phrase ZOTL. He said, let's distinguish ourselves by not calling it an OTL, let's call it a ZOTL instead. And the ZOTL, originally came from Zero-hysteresis Output Transformer-Less. So the OTL was there, the Z was zero-hysteresis. That was the zero-hysteresis part. And that zero-hysteresis is really, an output transformer has hysteresis distortion. And if you eliminate the output transformer, well, then there's no hysteresis distortion. So, ZOTL, that sounded like a good name, it stuck. And so that's where we are today, the ZOTL. So it's, so that's how the term ZOTL came to be.